Well, my name is Andrea.
And my name is Ramon.
And this is
Introduction to Organic Chemistry.
A tutorial for how to draw the main structures
And define concepts of organic chemistry.
The UPAC, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It is used to name just organic compounds. The Greek abbreviations for each compound are meth for 1, prop for 2, F for 3, lat for 4, pen for 5, X for 6, F for 7, octane for 8, non for 9, and dec for 10. Here are the substituent groups. The P is a methyl group which consists of 1 carbon and 3 hydrocarbons. The ethyl group contains 2 carbons and 5 hydrocarbons. The methyl group contains 4 carbons. And the R stands for a general abbreviation for a methyl group. Hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are basically just hydrogen and carbon. Hydro for hydrogen, the carbons for carbon. Hydrocarbons.
Well, these three there are kinds of hydrocarbons. Alkanes, there are class of hydrocarbons that contain 1 single bond. Alkenes contain 2 single bonds of carbon atoms, and alkynes contain triple bonds.
Alkanes are hydrocarbons in which all the bonds are single bonds. Some characteristics of alkenes are: the alkenes are saturated hydrocarbons. Its general formula is CnH2n+2, where n is equal to the number of carbon atoms in the alkene. Alkenes, it's called saturated because each carbon is bonded to 4 other atoms. Alkenes are only single bonds. Alkene names are derived from the Greek or Latin name for the number of carbon atoms and the suffix -ane. UPAC nomenclature for alkenes. Step 1. Choose the correct ending, -ane, and observe the bonds. Step 2. Determine the longest carbon chains. This will be the chain with the longest number of carbon. Step 3. Number each carbon in the parent chains. If you have alkyl groups, start numbering the carbons by its approach to the alkyl group. Step 4. Observe the parentheses. Select the name alkyl substituted before the name of the parent hydrocarbon. Step 5. If the same alkyl group occurs more than once as a branch on the parent structure, use a prefix D, 3, tetra, and so on before its name to indicate how many times it appears. Then use the number of carbon to which each attached to indicate its position. Step 6. When different alkyl groups are attached to the same parent structure, place their names in alphabetical order. Do not consider the prefix when determining the alphabetical order. Step 7. Write the entire name, using hyphens to separate the numbers from words and commas to separate the numbers. Now, we are going to see 2 examples of alkenes, based on the UPAC nomenclature.
Okay, so, Okay, hi, I'm Hazel and I'm going to teach you how to draw the molecule. So today, first we need to see the steps. And, well, this is our example. So, step number 1, see how many carbons does the parent chain has. The carbons normally in the parent chain is the last termination. So we have 4-ethyl 3,4-dimethyl octane. This octane right here are the carbons of the parent chain. So let's draw the 8 carbons here. Let's put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 here. Okay, so we have the 8 carbons. The second step is to draw the parent chain. We already did it. And number the carbons. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the beginning it's easier to name them, but when you get a little bit of practice, you don't need to write them. Okay. Then 3. See what does each carbon has. With this, this means like branches. Which kind of branch does each carbon has? In the example, we have 4 ethyl. So in carbon number 4, we have an ethyl. Remember that ethyl has 2 carbons. So we have 1 and 2. This is our ethyl, okay? And here in the second part we have 3. It means in carbon number 3, 3,4 methyl. This methyl here, we're going to put it in carbon number 3 and in carbon number 4. So carbon number 3 methyl, carbon number 4 methyl. Okay, this dimethyl di means 2. We have 2 methyls in the whole molecule. Okay, then we write the hydrogens. Here is 3 because we only have 1 bond, and the carbons only can have 4 hydrogens. Okay, here it's only an H. It's only a hydrogen. Here we don't put a hydrogen because this carbon already has 4 bonds. Okay, this has 2, has 1, this has only 1, has 2, 2, 2, and we are done. And this is how you draw the molecule. Let's see another example. Okay, so first example, without the each step. Okay, so step number 1, we see how many carbons does the parent chain has. So here we have hexane, so it has 6 carbons. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, draw the parent chain and number the carbons. So here is carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, next, see what does each carbon has. Here we see the second carbon has a methyl. Okay, so here it's a bond and we draw a methyl. If you want, you can put the hydrogens as you put the branches to be less work at the end. And next we have another methyl in carbon number 4. So in carbon number 4 we put another methyl. It doesn't matter if you put the 2 methyls down or the 2 methyls up or one and up, and it doesn't matter with 2 methyls, it's okay. So that's it, and we put the hydrogens here. We put only one H because it has 3 bonds. We need to we have to put attention in the bonds to make no mistakes. So this is example number 2. Let's make another example. Okay, last example. We have let's put another branch. 4 isopropyl next 3 methyl heptane. Oh. Okay, first we need to see how many carbons does the parent chain has. So we have heptane, which means 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. As you get practice, you don't need to put the numbers in each carbon. Okay. Then number the carbons. I will do it because it's more easy to you. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Next. See what does each carbon has. Okay, so we have methyl and isopropyl. Let's start first with isopropyl. Okay, so we have in carbon number 4 one isopropyl, and remember that isopropyl are 3 carbons here. Doesn't matter if it looks like a line or it's like an inverse L or an L. It doesn't matter. Okay. So let's put the hydrogens. Okay. So we already got isopropyl. Next is methyl. So here in carbon number 3 we have a methyl. We put methyl and we put finally the hydrogen, that each carbon has. Here. There. So we already finished with this tutorial on how to draw molecules. Thanks for watching.
Using the rules of the UPAC system for alkenes, name the following structure. Rule number 1. Choose the correct ending. Ain. Rule number 2. Determine the longest carbon chain. Rule number 3. Assign numbers to each carbon. Rule number 4. Identify alkyl groups and its name. Finally, we have the name 2,2-dimethyl 4-methylpentane. Example number 1. The same rule. Rule number 1. Choose the correct ending, ane. Rule number 2. Determine the longest carbon chain. Rule number 3. Assign numbers to each carbon. Rule number 4. Identify alkyl groups and its name. Finally, we have the name 4-methyl-2-pentane. Example number 2. Rule number 1. Choose the correct ending, ane. Rule number 2. Determine the longest carbon chain. Rule number 3. Assign numbers to each carbon. Rule number 4. Identify alkyl groups and its name. Finally, we have the name 3-methylpentane.
Well, this is a tutorial of the steps on how to draw structural formulas for alkynes. In this example we have propane. We are going to draw the 3 carbons and the triple bond is here and there is a single bond there, and because this side has 3, this is gonna have 1, and this carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not gonna put anything here, and this carbon has 1. We are gonna draw the 1, the 2, and the 3, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogens, and 3 doubled is 6 minus 2 is the 4 we got there. In this example we have ethane. We are gonna draw the 2 carbons, 1, 2, the triple bond, and because this one has 3 on this gonna have 1, and the same by the other one, and double the 2 and subtract 2, C2H2.